Hey, welcome to my channel. Today, if you've seen my videos in the past, especially in my live streams, I made it a policy, or not a policy, but more of a resolution to do once a week at least stream something live once a week about any topic. Today, honestly, I have no idea what to talk about. I Celtics and the Heat. No idea what to talk about as far as in regards to the Celtics versus the Heat. Honestly, I did not think the Celtics would be down 3-0 in the series. The first game and the third last game, yesterday's game, the game three, they just seemed dejected and like unwilling to play. It is really surprising. This is someone you don't expect Tatum or Brown to be like this, but they were like pretty much out of it too, and it made no sense. This is a team that came back and beat the Sixers. So you're thinking, okay, they beat the Sixers, they should be able to beat the Heat, but they just felt beaten and like drawn out and dejected as those that just gave up completely. And honestly, I have no idea why. It's as though this is something that they. It's as though as basically they feel with Missoula. I don't know. It could be partly Missoula's fault, or mostly Missoula's fault. As a coach, you're supposed to prepare your players, have them prepped and ready in that mindset. But it seems like for the first these three games, he hasn't had them in this mindset for some reason. Honestly, their defense is lackluster. The Celtics defense. Let's not take it away from from Butler. Butler is really doing everything he is, as well as Ibadiah and himself. And like Ibadiah, sorry, I forgot his name. But anyways, uh, it's a case of I think Missoula may not be the coach for the Celtics, or two, this is a case where whatever he can say, I think he doesn't have that respect of the players at this point. After the first game, it might be because of that. I don't know, honestly, because it's one of those things where, honestly, if, like, put it this way, you had Udaka, basically, who the Celtics respected, and he had that credibility in place. He had those street creds in ways. So if in the situation with Brown and Tatum, or any other player for that matter, not being defensive or smart, not holding up to their defensive ends, or not holding up to their level of ability, Udaka would like basically just get in their faces and like call them out on it, not publicly, but in their faces, either in the locker room or on the court. Basically, it's like what the hell's they're doing and all that stuff. Um, in this situation, I don't know what how Missoula is doing it basically, because it seems like he's not getting him that mindset. I don't know why, because the thing is like this is the same team that was down 3-2 to the Sixers, and they still came back and beat the Sixers. Uh, is this a case where like maybe Tatum and Brown are at their peak and that's it? Because this is the same team from last year that went to the finals. The only difference is the coach. Or is this a case of this is Missoula and like he's not getting the best out of his players, or he didn't prepare them enough? I don't know. The real question comes down to is like, will the Celtics be able to essentially come back at all and beat the the Heat? They're gonna have to play one game at a time. This would be a first. This will definitely be a first if the Celtics were able to come back and force a game seven and then win. Or it could be another first of a eighth seeded team sweeping sweeping in the conference finals. That could be a first as well too, for all we know. But quite honestly, this is something where I don't know as a coach, as a coach, and as a outsider fan. Meaning, like, I'm not a huge Celtics fan or a Heat fan, but still as a basketball fan, you're like, whoa, like this is something where like the Heat are talented. I'm not going to deny that, but this is the same Celtics team that's really talented. Made it to the finals last year. Did what they did with the Sixers this year. This in the playoff, being down 3-2, they came back and won. Is this something where they're setting themselves up to come back and win in 7 games. I mean, let's not forget there was another Boston team that was in the same situation and they came back and won. That was the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees. Now, granted, this is basketball; it's a whole different story. But someone's got to step up. Tatum, Brown, I have no idea. Honestly, the other thing is like in yesterday's game, it was to a point where like they were just shooting bad threes. Their three selection was really bad, and it wasn't just their selections, but also the fact is like they gave up some easy baskets. Like there were easy twos that they could have gotten. I mean, they were down like by 26, and they still could have been down by like maybe 15 with 8 minutes to go. If they had gotten those two, like their defense was holding up a little bit towards the end of it, but like it just like ran away with it at that point. Um, I honestly don't know what Wazula should do. Its reality is basically the players have to step in as well too. But at the same time, the the Celtics, I honestly don't think they're going to win. I mean, I honestly did not think this was going to happen. I knew if the first game, if they lost, it might be repeat with Miami Heat, what they're doing again, and basically they might beat out and win the series. So when they won the first game and the second game, I'm like, all right, chances are they're going to win in 6 games. I did not think they were going to either sweep or at least win in 5. Now at this point for the Celtics, they have to have their pride in place to make sure that they don't get swept for the first time ever by an 8 seeded team. No team in the conference finals being swept by 8 seeded team. I don't think the Celtics want to be that team. Um, Now again, like I said, they could also try to do this and like if they play one game at a time. If they were to win tomorrow's game, maybe that builds up a confidence booster, and then maybe they can go forward with that. But it seems like this team is like so dejected, so out of it that like they feel like they have no shot. They're like, it's almost. I've a, I have this feeling that come tomorrow's game, they're probably not going to even show up practically. It's like as though it's like they're just going to show up to show up, but like they're not going to play their hearts out. They're probably figuring like the season's over. Let's just get the next season. Maybe we get another player, or maybe we get a better coach. I mean, quite honestly, Missoula, a good coach, but he inherited it from Udaka. Quite honestly, maybe Udaka comes back, or for that matter, maybe what's his name, Doc Rivers. I mean, Rivers did win with one series uh, with a talented team. Granted, he should have probably won more than that, but at the same time, he probably might be able to win him with this team as well too. I don't know. Celtics could bring him back for all we know. I don't know. I would not be surprised to see that, to be quite honest. Um, or two, there might be another better coach out there that they might bring in place to replace Missoula. I mean, this is a shot for Missoula where he brought him to second best record uh, in the East, and he did pretty well, honestly, as a coach. Uh, Maybe he goes to another team, like maybe the Clippers. I don't know, or for that matter, the 76ers. I mean, it's a possibility they could swap. But then again, Udako, we'll see what happens there as well too. But honestly, I think this is a case where like yeah, I think I called it in the beginning where like if the Heat, if you've seen my other videos, if the Heat were to beat the Celtics in the game one, it'd be a repeat. They'd probably win in 6, maybe 7 games. Uh, Seeing them winning in game two, I was like, okay, maybe 6 games. It looks like now the fact that that's three, there were 3-0. I'm much shocked as everyone else that if the Heat were to sweep the Celtics, I think Missoula gets fired. Uh, but I think the Celtics show up. It feels like the Celtics won't show up, but I feel personally that they will show up because like there's a little bit of Celtic pride that's going to have to kick in to make sure that they don't lose or be the team that gets swept by an eighth seeded team. Uh, but then again, who knows? We'll see in the first quarter. It all comes down to the first quarter, basically. It comes down to that first quarter, how that first quarter plays out. If the Celtics can have a lead by 10 points, I think they might be able to come out with a win on that night. But if it's a close game, I don't see the Celtics winning and them being swept at that point. To be quite honest, Um, I don't know who's to say. I could be wrong for all I know. Apologies on that. That one still work? Okay, yeah, it does. Apologies on that. I had to go take care of something very quickly. I think this is the first time I've done this. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, as relation to the Celtics and Heat, I don't know what to say about that, honestly. Um, yeah, well, let's look at the Lakers and Nuggets. Chances are the Lakers are probably gonna get swept as well too tonight. Find out, we'll see. But maybe the Lakers may not get swept out. Maybe they win this one game. Maybe LeBron and AD shows up. Basically, who knows? But coming back to the Lakers Celtics, I mean not Lakers Celtics, Celtics Heat. I think Philadelphia. Well, there was a reason why Jimmy Butler left Philadelphia to go to Miami. But as far as Chicago trading him off, I mean they got Levine and all such, but in reality, this is a guy that Chicago had, and if there are those conspiracy theories about Jimmy Butler being Jordan's illegitimate son, even though it's not true, um, it'd be interesting to see at that point. But with that, I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry I don't see any comments in the live section. Unfortunately, I'm still working on the live part. It's like not showing up, unfortunately. But with that, I'll leave it at that. If you want to leave any comments, leave your comments in the comment section. I do read them at the end of the thing, and I do respond to them when any warrant a response. And also, if anything, let me know, what your thoughts are with this. Do you think the Celtics can win? Do you think the Celtics can actually repeat another Boston team as far as, coming back down 3-0 in the playoffs, specifically in a conference finals for those Boston fans out there? And now also the fact is like, do you think, Missoula stays if they do get swept or they lose? Missoula stays and the Celtics replace him, or do they break up the team and like keep Tatum and trade Brown, or trade Brown? I mean, keep Brown and Tatum, or whatever it may be. But that. Um, and if you enjoy my content, enjoy my videos, and enjoy my channel, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you don't enjoy my channels, um, or don't enjoy my videos but still watch it and want to razz me, you're welcome to it. I just ask that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But with that, I'll leave it at that. I'd also want to say that, yeah, I'm still working on the software basically, but once I get the software working, I will figure it out. But with that, I'll leave it at that.